Today I'm joined by Aidan Syers. He's a Great Britain sprinter, a sports scientist and a sports performance coach. It's good to see you.
And you big man?
Good. I'm good, man, thank you.
Thanks for having me.
No problem, no problem. The first question I wanted to ask you is how did you get into sports science and sports performance coaching?
Interesting question. So, sports science, I was running for Great Britain at the time. I got a bad injury, so I was thinking to myself, what do I do? So from there, I just decided I'm going to go to university and do a degree. I didn't know which degree, I just know I wanted to do something with sports. So yeah, got onto the sports science course at Loughborough University, went up there on a scholarship and started my sports science degree. So that's how that journey started.
There you began.
Yeah.
Okay. And what motivated you to really do it other than the injury?
I needed something to do.
Yeah.
All I ever wanted to do was be an athlete. I hadn't aspired to do anything else. Apart from maybe be a pop star or something. I can't sing, so. Yeah, from there, I was just like, I just need something to do. It wasn't an ambition or an aspiration for me. I just needed something to do. And I knew that if I did want to go to university, it had to be nothing.
Okay.
Because it's the best for sport. And I thought, I'm not going to go anywhere else. So, yeah, so I was lucky.
And in terms of you training so many young footballers, rugby players, how did that all come about for you? Is it just like an easy thing that fell into your hands, or you just dropped it and looking after certain?
You know what? It's funny. So this was, I'd only been coaching maybe a couple of years into it. And a friend of mine who was a football agent, he had these two young players who wanted to do some stuff in the season. This is coming back 12 years ago now, something like that.
Yeah.
And he said, Aidan, can you do some sprint work? And I said, yeah, no problem. And they came down, they met me, we did a few sessions, and they went back to pre-season for like one of them signed his first pro, literally a few months after that, and the other one got selected for England schoolboys. He was at West Ham at the time, the other one was at Charlton. And yeah, just my friend was like, what did you do with these ads? I said, well, I just applied what I know to football. And he's like, okay. And then next thing I know, just sending me players, and we would do pre-season camps. We'd have 50, 60 professional and semi-professional footballers coming to do our sessions. And it was busy. It was good. It was great. But we'd have them all there at once. We'd spend 4 or 5 hours. So they do a warm-up and fitness session with me. Then they go and do sort of football sessions. So they do some drills and games, also that type of thing. So it was, interesting time. And this, before the days of social media was big how it is now, we were doing that.
So you do lots of camps now still, or is it just that period?
I probably don't do any camps, actually, no. Tell you what, I did a camp last year for some pros, but I don't do it that often nowadays. It's more kind of like one-to-ones and stuff.
So when you're looking at athletes, sprinter, athlete boxer, athlete rugby player, what do you look for in a sprinter?
How well they do.
That's what you look for.
The first thing, how well do they do. And then are they fast, are they powerful? Because from my point of view, that's what we're trying to do. I want to make faster, more efficient with their movement, healthier, more resilient. So every time I see him, even if I'm watching the TV and I'm watching a football match, I'm like, nah, I don't like his mechanics, he needs to work on this. And it can become a bit of an obsession. I've had to relax a little bit because there was a period where I didn't enjoy watching, say, football. And I'm a mad football. Just not because of that, just overly obsessed with how people are moving, rather than just watching and enjoying the game. I'm like, I don't like that. Why is he putting his foot there before he does that? It got too much, so I had to just relax, and now I just sit down and watch a game and cuss like every other fan.
So if he was to choose a footballer or an athlete out there now that you would really like to work on their technique, not abusing their coach. What would you do? And what is the problem with that person?
I'll tell you what. Someone I rate as a player is Jack Wilshere, former Arsenal player. West Ham. I'd love to work with him because he's had so many injuries and he's an immense talent. And I've always looked at him and thought, I can help him. Just in terms, it's all mechanical for him. He's very explosive, and I think when he does his extras, he does a lot of explosive work, a lot of agility work. He doesn't really need it. He just needs mechanical work and conditioning work. Fantastic talent. Very explosive. The way he can glide past players, he's special. There's not many that can do it. I think Grealish does it a lot. The way he plays, he just commits and he's gone. Fantastic. And Maddison can do a bit of that as well. James Maddison at Leicester. I'd love to work with Jack Wilshere.
He's number one.
Because I just maybe I don't know where he's at now in terms of what's for his career, but if you'd have given me him 6 years ago.
What about Spence then?
Would I like to coach?
Not offending
I'm not going to coach any athletes.
No, not coaching, not offending any coach.
Would I like to work? I'll tell you what.
If you have to do overseas, then that's fine.
Do you know, I'd coach that young Joseph Dewar. I think he's a special talent. He's always injured. He's always injured. And I'd love to, maybe not coach him, but at least guide him and give him some guidance as to what type of training he could potentially be doing. And just to keep him healthy, keep him on the track.
So what motivates you and keeps you going to train yourself?
I want to run fast. I think, without that goal, I'd struggle. I really do. Because I'm not a massive, I don't love training. I love what it gives me. So I know if I don't put that work in, I'm not going to get that work. So I work hard to get there. Just run personal best. I think, I'd love to run a PB. I'd love to get back to my absolute top level, perhaps better. I think maybe running a championship may be a bit past where I'm at right now. Definitely on times. But I definitely think I'm going to improve. So, roll the dice.
Why not? And who was your role model?
As an athlete? When I was young, Carl Lewis, I loved his technique. Just that in-flight mechanics is...
So you've always had it then? That's always been in your arsenal that you're going to work on and watch technique before speed. So technique is always your thing.
I like to see nice movement, whether it's dancing with a boxer, whether it's a rugby player. I always like the sports people who move well. I think I used to watch a lot of rugby. Jerry Duscott, that's how he'd step and go. He was my guy. Someone like Ian Wright, just off both feet, off his right side, his left side, he can do it all. And I just like people who move really, really well. Michael Jackson, look how he danced. I'm looking for that excellence. That's what I'm always searching for.
So if you was to get a raw sprint rugged, you would try and change that into a smoother transition of sprinting?
People move how they move. I think you can refine it. I think once you start trying to make wholesale changes, you actually turn athletes into robots. It shouldn't be. Everyone's got their own slight unique movements, slightly different movement patterns. But some of the fundamentals remain the same. So if you're looking at sprints, for example, you want to have your hips high. You've got to get your knees up. Those little things. You must dorsiflex, but everyone's going to look slightly different within that kind of frame. So it's just about tightening it up, making it more efficient, making the quality of movement a bit better, and hopefully faster.
So what advice would you give to an up-and-coming sprinter now, or up-and-coming sportsman or woman?
That's a good one. Find out what's required. If you have goals to be maybe an Olympian, or you have goals to play in the Premier League, what are those guys doing? And I don't mean people who are just there, the absolute best. Who are the athletes who are at the Olympics and in the final year after year after year? What are they doing? What are the guys who are playing, 500 Premier League games, 100 England games, World Player of the Year, European Player of the Year? What are they doing? Because a lot of people can do it, but there's doing it and there's doing it. And if you aim high, You might not catch that level, but you'll be there and thereabouts. You've got to aspire to be the best and do more. I have to do more than the next person. Yeah. And that doesn't mean overtraining.
Yes, I was going to ask you.
Yeah, it doesn't mean overtraining, but it means doing your stretching in the evening after you finished. It means taking care of your nutrition. It means going to bed early, drinking your water, staying hydrated, making your physio appointments, getting your muscle, seeing an osteopath, speaking to your coach, breaking it down, setting yourself goals, and learning what it takes to be an elite sports person, because it's not easy. And you'll see a lot of young athletes, sports people, they'll be really young, very early, because they're on that very steep progression curve, and then nothing. Either they get injured, or they just don't progress. It's because their professionalism, attitude, work ethic will keep you there and keep you going. If you look at Cristiano Ronaldo, someone with a fantastic raw talent, but he nurtured it. Look at his profession. He's the most professional football player in the game. It's not an accident why he wins World Player of the Year, he scores all these goals, and he wins golden boots here and golden boots there, trophies and medals. He's done it all. He's leading a Portugal side to European Championships. They're not the best team, but he brings it all together.
He knows how to.
He knows how to, and he's the guy for me.
So,
I like him.
if I also give you like an option between Messi and Ronaldo, you would choose Ronaldo?
Yes, not because I think he's a better player, but I love his professionalism. I love his approach to what he does. I just think he's a shining example for any young sports person or any sports person or any person. He's just professional, the attention to detail. If half of the professional footballers did half of what he did, their game would just excel.
The whole game would?
The whole game would excel. Without question.
Okay. And your predictions for the Olympic Games next year, 100, 200 metres.
Okay.
Who do you predict for gold? For the men first and the women second.
I think for the guys, it's difficult to look past Christian Coleman in the one. At the moment, he seems a tenth and a bit ahead of everybody. Lyles might decide he fancies the one next year at the Olympics and he'll be a contender. Zarnell Hughes, if we're talking British athletes, he'll be in the mix. I think he'll improve and learn from the World Championships this year. He's very good. I think if Reece Prescott is fit, he's always in the mix. If he's with you at 40, good luck. Good luck. I think OJ Dobrin will learn a lot from his experience this weekend. If Gatlin decides to roll the dice one more year, then he has to be in it because he's done it from 04 to now. Just exceptional. Other than those guys, I'm not sure. In the two, I think it will be, again, Lyles has to be #1 contender. It's a tough one. There's always, Jamili, if he can build on what he's done this year, get another winter behind him, he's definitely going to be for sure. I feel like I'm forgetting somebody, but I don't know.
No offense. No offense.
The girls, Shelly Ann fancies it, mate. But Dina's going to be even closer. I think Dina might win the two.
This weekend? Tomorrow?
I think Dina might win that.
I believe so.
She's got it, man. That girl is something else. She's special. Shelly Ann, herself. I think it'll be one of them. I don't see anyone else breaking through. If Elaine Thompson gets healthy, she's definitely going to be in the mix. In the two, Dina. For
the Olympic gold next year.
I think Dina. I should put some money on it. I think she'll come on with a goal of some sort next year. I believe so.
And what's your take on the mixed relay?
It doesn't offend me. I like the concept. I'm not sure it fits at World Championship or Olympic level. Maybe that's me being old school, or maybe a bit traditionalist. I think when you're talking about Worlds or Olympics, you're talking about the very elite. So I want to see an elite competition, and yes, everybody doing the relays are elite athletes in their own right. But if I see a male athlete running past a female athlete with ease, it makes me think it's not elite for a second, and it is. So I'm undecided yet. I'm undecided because they're all fantastic athletes, and it's great that there's new innovation in the sport. It needs it. Track and field is struggling. So to have something new for people to look at, maybe someone who's never seen athletics before, they might look at it and think, wow, that's great. So look, if it gets more people watching, gets more people in the stands, I'm all for it. For me personally, I'm not sure. I'm still on the fence. I'm definitely not against it though.
And what would, if you was to have a team that you would support out, how would you set up? Would you do the 2 men first, 2 women last? Would you break it up? How would you break it up?
I don't know. I kind of like female, male, female, male. I like the idea of that. I think you've got to go with your fastest person on the last. So I think a guy is going to run last. But you could. I think female, male. Female, male. That's how I think so.
Even though the other teams might set up in a different way, you'll stick with your philosophy and go that way.
I guess it depends who you've got in your team. You've got to play to your strengths. If you've got Alison Felix on your team, you're all right. We might have to roll Christina Hurugu out over time, or someone else needs to come through and step up. So, we need someone in the 4. We need someone that's contending, seriously for medals, because we haven't had that since Chris Elliott and Nicola Sanders now. We need that.
You said that track and field struggling. Do you think that's the fact of Usain Bolt retiring?
It plays a big role. I think he transcended the sport. Everyone knows who Usain Bolt is.
In all sports.
Now, don't have that superstar or those superstars. So the information of who's good and the knowledge of who's out there isn't really apparent. If any of our guys walk down the street, I was going to know. Usain Bolt walks down, through, any high street, people are going to know. So we need more exposure. It doesn't help that, you stick athletics on the red button, or it's online, or you're not filling out British Championships. It doesn't help. And we need, so again, mixed relay, if it helps people get known and familiar with athletics, then it's great. The more exposure we can get in the sport, the better. Absolutely. Because we've got some great personalities. What I like is someone like OJ, and what I've found since he won the British Championships, how he's conducted himself. He's very open and very honest. And it's been a while since we've had an athlete like that. And he shows his vulnerability as well. He says he struggled, from the transition. Sprinters, we're egocentric. It was light work. I just did this and ran here and winged this guy out. It's not always like that. And so I like how he's been there. It's quite fitting with how society is now. And I think more people are going to buy into him. I think, he's onto something.
He's talent as well, anyway.
He's an impressive athlete, and he's an impressive young man to go. For sure.
And I just wanted to ask you about your sports science or your sports performance coaching. You coached other coaches. How was that for you, being probably one of the youngest men in the room, coaching older people? How was that for you? How did they see you?
As long as you're humble, it's not an issue and you know what you're talking about. I think if I went in there and tried to be arrogant and things like that, it wouldn't be a good look. But I think because I'm very humble, I'm open to learning new things, and I feel if I'm in a room with any other coaches, I can learn. So I'm never there thinking, I know everything, do as you're told, this is what you have to do. No, so we have a discussion, and I'll try and guide those discussions a certain way. It's what I feel that they may need as their tutor. And I think it works quite well. I seem to get decent feedback. So I think you never know everything as a coach, and you should never even if you feel like you know everything, you're not working hard. So yeah, I make sure that my mind and I'm open to learning things and take on, because you can learn from everything. I learn things from all people, all coaches. Anytime I go into a gym or I go to a track, I might see a drilling. Yeah, I'm having that. But a lot of the time I'll go up to the coach and I'll ask, well, why are you doing this? You know, what's it for? What are you trying to work on? And I think, well, if it works on this, how could I use it for people I work with? Could I adapt it? Rather than just copy it. I don't know what it's for. I don't know where that fits in their training or in their training cycle. I don't know. So I need to find out. I think what I see a lot of, unfortunately, is coaches just peeling stuff off Instagram. And I'm like, that's not the way to go. Don't get me wrong, I look at stuff on Instagram and I think, oh, yeah, I like that. I think, well, how does it fit? So I think something's a great drill, great exercise. Doesn't mean I have to use it. Just for using its sake, you know, the basics always work well. Make sure your athletes are competent with those first, then progress. But, you know, you take your time and take what information you can when you can.
Right, so who coaches you at the moment?
So I coach myself. I do some technical work with Steve Fudge over at Lee Valley, with the Fudge London project where I can. But yeah, predominantly train myself and coach myself,
Has it always been like that?
Not always. I used to be coached by Dave Lease, was my last coach, proper coach, back in, he started coaching me in 2010, and he coached me, wrote my programs, you know, everything for 2 years. And at the end of the 2012 season, I decided I was going to take full ownership of my own training. And I still went and saw him for technical bits for about 3 years after that. Down in Cardiff, where I coached. But I wrote my own training programs, you know, did my own sessions and all of that, trained by myself. Before that, before I was with Dave, I coached myself for a couple of seasons. And then before that, I was with Matt McFarlane for, how long was I with Matt for? 4 years, I think, maybe.
Legend in this sport.
Oh yeah, Matt's certified, he's certified. And then before that, a gentleman called Devon Wright, I worked with, he was my coach at Aidan Syers, and he was the one who first got me to run for GB. You know, he was my first proper coach. My first club coach was a guy called Paul Weston, who's a legend at Aidan Syers, a legend. He reels them out, man, every year's conveyor. But yeah, so then Devon Wright, then Mike McFarlane, then myself for a bit, then Dave Lease, and then myself sort of since. So yeah, since 2013, well, end of 2012, I've been, you know, taking care of myself really.
So with the GB setup, what is it like being in the GB team, competing around Europe? How do you find that?
Do you know what? It was my dream as a kid to be a Great Britain sprinter. I wanted it to be my full-time job, and I was lucky that after I finished my A-levels, I ran fast enough, and that was it. I got put on funding, and I was blessed. To represent Great Britain is magical for me. It's magical, and I loved it. I got to train and work with some of the top athletes in the UK, like Dwayne Chambers, Christian Malcolm, Jason Gardner. You know, all those guys. Just because they were the guys, and like, you're like with them, and it's crazy. It was crazy. You know, my junior team, we had like Mark Lewis Francis, I got Mo Farah. So I was in that era. So it was a very talented time. It was a really talented time. We had some amazing sprinters. It was great, and the European thing, I've loved it. This year is the first year that I've competed where I haven't sort of missed a year due to injury, where I haven't run in Europe. So this going back like 18 years or something almost.
That you haven't competed in Europe the
first year. I love it. I love the circuit. I like, you know, the random hotels, the random food. I like that side of it because it feels, I like the discomfort. I think when you're at home and it's all relaxed, I don't feel that same energy. And I like that kind of unknown. I remember we went to Belgium, this was donkeys years ago, and it was myself, Mark Finley, John Barber, I think James Ellington was there as well. There's another sprinter called Jason Greenwich. And we'd gone to Belgium, got the Eurostar, got to the accommodation, and it's like bunk beds. We're looking at each other like, what is this? Like, what is this? Like, we must have been about 10 man deep in the room. And there was a little bed in the corner. I'm not even sure it was a full single bed. I was like, yeah, I'll have that one, it's out of the way. Yeah. So I just tucked up, portable DVD player. You know, it was crazy. Been to some lovely places. Like sometimes you stay in a nice 5-star hotel. Yeah. Other times you're in like a youth hostel.
Yeah, been there.
Other times you're in someone's house. Yeah. You know, it's it's not all Diamond League glamour. Yeah. It could be interesting to say the least.
I think I remember the time when I went to English schools. I was in a random person's house.
Seriously?
For 3 days. Wow. They had a dog. The dog was there on my bed. And I was, Mum, what is this?
Yeah, your county must have had a tight budget, man. Yeah. Sorry was alright, man. We stayed in student accommodation. It was alright. Yeah, it was good.
It's the thing that people don't get to see on the outside. They just think you rock up to the track, you're having this luxury life.
Yeah, it's not like that.
It's not.
Well, it can be for some athletes. It is like that, and I think, you know, I've seen kind of two sides of it because I've done the whole funded athlete thing. Yeah. I'm very fortunate enough to have that. But then I've been on the other side of it where I'm just an athlete trying to make money on the circuit, and that's where most of my career has been.
Yeah.
You know, I was funded for a very short period of time. Yeah. So my whole career is trying to make money on the circuit. And it's not easy because you've got to spend money to make money effectively. And yeah, if you're funded, you don't have those same issues. You don't have to race every week. Yeah. Because there's no need for you to do so. And it's a different ball game if you're trying to make a champs or be ready for, say, trials. When you've had to run every week for like 8 weeks leading up to it, by the time you get to trials, it's like you're done. And I think that's the mistake I've made a couple of times in my career where I've been in really good shape, running really well, and I've over-raced going into British Championships thinking I couldn't finish top 4 or 5 here. Yeah. And just busting my hamstring because I was just fatigued. Yeah. Just over-raced, not rested enough, but I've got to make the money back.
Yeah, you got to chase.
So that was a situation I found myself in, and I think in 2013 I was killing it on the circuit. I was cleaning up in Europe, and I made a mistake. I got over racing, went to trials, tore my hamstring in the semi. I think I won my heat easy. Yeah, tore my hamstring in the semi. Should have made a final.
Was that the year when you were racing against Walter Dix, or was it Walter Dix?
That was the year after. That was the year after. So the year after, 2014, same thing, cleaning up. Went to trials, tore my hamstring again in the semi, like took one step. I finished second. I think Kilty beat me in the heat. He ran 10:20 something, I ran 30 something. In the heats, in the semi-final, literally I took one or two steps and I felt my hamstring go. I was like, oh no. And I just tried to force it, and I finished the race. I don't know how.
It's from the first step.
Yeah, I felt I'd gone. And I went to see physio, a guy called Kevin Nicklow. Just the best. He saved my career on a few occasions. And yeah, I was back racing 10 days later. Wow. Racing, and I raced with Dix in Copenhagen. Okay. In Copenhagen, that was an experience. Walter Dix, man, he's special. Yeah, special because I was right with him, and then I wasn't, He just gone.
What I saw from the video is that you hung on to it for at least 50, 55 meters.
I can roll, man. When I'm fit and I execute as I should, I can roll. Yeah. My problem's been staying fit at the right time. Okay. I don't think for me, I've never questioned the talent. Just some bad decisions. Yeah. And I have to take responsibility for that. I'm not going to sit here and blame coaches. Because as an athlete you can walk away. Yeah. And I didn't. And I stayed in a few situations that I probably shouldn't have. Because you have trust and faith and belief in your coach and what the plan is. And sometimes you need someone to say, no, this is not for you.
It's loyalty as well.
Yeah, and I think, you know, you build, the relationship you have with your coach as an athlete is special, and you create such a bond that it's hard to break. Well, it's hard to break. So, you know, I should have left certain situations, and that's why, you know, towards, you know, sort of 2012, 2013, 2014, I decided, you know, enough's enough, and I'm going to take responsibility. Yeah. And lo and behold, I had some of my best season. Yeah. But I made bad decisions within that. Yeah. You know, it was great, I ran really well, everything was lovely, but I made some bad decisions, and, you know, it cost me. You know, I think it probably cost me a good chance of maybe sneaking into a team. Yeah, which is a shame. It's a shame, but it is what it is.
Yeah, you've got time to make teams still though.
Maybe. I think right now people are running. If you're not running 9-9, you're not making a team.
I think in the UK though, I think you can make a team running 10.
I think you'd have to, because they're gonna pick the guys who are funded first.
Yeah.
So, you know, the guys that are relay funded, they got almost first dibs. Yeah. So you're really having to finish in the top 2 at trials. 10-2 ain't gonna do that. True. You're gonna need to have a drop to 9-9 or a 10-0 to get to trials, so you might win the trials in 10-10. But if you're not able to and have the capacity to run maybe sub 10, you're probably not gonna do that. Yeah. So unless you just pull one out, and it's very difficult. Not many athletes have done that in the past. It's very rare. You've got to kind of have your level and then maybe give it a 10th under what you deliver at trials. And yeah, you've got to have the reservoir of speed. And yeah, who knows? But I think, look, if you can dip, you might dip a 10th, finish third and get a bronze. You never know, but you've got to be in a mix. You've got to be fit and healthy. Yeah. And I've probably turned up to trials healthy maybe once. In my, like, fully healthy once. You know, and I made the final that year. So, you know,
it's just about consistency, getting 2-3 years under your belt.
Yeah, you need to stack the winters, and you know, I've been unfortunate to not have many full winters under my belt, and so to go as long as I have is a miracle, really, and to run, you know, pretty consistently over that such a long period of time is all right.
Really impressive. But how do you train on your own when you're getting into speed work, or do you even train on your own when it comes to speed work?
Yeah, I train on my own for everything virtually. As I said, sometimes I'll jump into some practice group and we'll jump into some acceleration stuff, some block work, things like that. But yeah, you just do the sessions. Right?
Just get it done.
Yeah, just put your cones out. Sometimes I'll put gates out. Yeah. But I might be trying to work on, say, one technical aspect, so I might be working on dorsiflexion. Yeah. So I do a run and all I think about is dorsiflexion. Yeah. Then I might, the next time I do it, I'm working on arm action.
Dorsiflex, for people that don't know.
Yeah, so just basically like pointing the foot.
Yeah. Not everyone knows.
Dorsiflexion. Yeah. So yeah. So I work on maybe one specific thing, because you can't work on everything at once because you frazzle your brain. Yeah. And yeah, just go and do it, just get it done. A lot of people got excuses for why they're not training, why they're not doing what they need. Just go and get the session done. What does it say on the paper? What's your recovery? 6 minutes? Okay, 6 minutes, be on the line with you.
So I know boxing is a massive part of your mind, the way you are. You just love boxing. Who's your top 5? You probably have the places with your mates.
I do. Like every day on WhatsApp, my friend Matthew, he lives in Dubai actually. Yeah. We message every day about boxing, literally every day. Top 5. Pound for pound. Right now or
present?
Okay.
Present.
Oh God.
Yeah.
All right.
So we go past after.
All right. So my top 5 would be Terence Crawford in no particular order.
Okay, that's what I'm
Terence Crawford, Lomachenko, Canelo Alvarez. Now I'm struggling. After those 3 together.
What, is it hard to pick?
Yeah,
last 2.
Yeah, the last 2, because I think there's a few people in and around there.
Yeah.
You could throw Fury in there. You could throw Andy Ruiz in there right now after that big win.
Yeah.
Triple G maybe. Oh no, Inoue. Is it Inoue? The Japanese guy. Yeah. I've got to put him in there.
He's phenomenal.
I wish I could put Billy Joe Saunders in there. Because I think he's good enough.
Yeah.
He hasn't fought enough guys yet.
Okay.
I'm struggling with the last one, man. Maybe Errol Spence. Errol Spence, I'll throw in there.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah, I'll put Errol Spence. Yeah, I've got to put Errol Spence in there. Have to. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So Spence versus Crawford. Who wins that?
For me,
I'm
gonna say Terence Crawford.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, we did say him first, so
Crawford's my guy.
Yeah.
I really like Terence Crawford. He hasn't fought anyone like Errol Spence though.
Yeah.
But Errol Spence hasn't fought anyone like Terence Crawford. And that's the fight I want to see.
I understand what you're saying. I don't think that Terence Crawford's fought anyone of a stature yet.
Well, I think not at welterweight.
Yeah.
Not at welter, but forget he's undisputed champion.
True.
Before he moved up. So I think you have to put him in there. Anyone who's an undisputed champion then moves up, wins a title, you've got to be on the pound for pound song. And it will come, but I think it's difficult because he's with Top Rank and you've got a lot of the other guys with PBC. It's trying to
hard to
make the fight. So I think, because I think it was Porter's PBC, Spence, Danny Garcia. I'm not sure what else. So. But so they're trying to keep Thurman's with PBC as well, so they were trying to keep the belts.
Thurman's not in that list, Steve. Pacquiao's not in.
Pacquiao's
now. Thurman's now.
It's difficult, man. It's difficult. It's a tough one.
And past, sorry.
My personal favourites, Prince Nassim Hamed is probably my favourite fighter. Mike Tyson, vicious guy, man. Joe Calzaghe. I love Joe Calzaghe.
We're expecting that.
Floyd Mayweather, without question. And my fifth one, I have to say Nigel Benjamin. I watched a lot of Nigel Benjamin as a kid, and that really got me. Those Ben Eubank fights, and I always loved Nigel Benjamin. So.
You know what I'm going to say now. You didn't put Ali in there.
I know. The only reason why, before my time. And I never saw him. If I'm talking who I think is the best, then I'm gonna put Ali in there. But I never watched it. I never grew up watching Ali. So it's difficult for me to say. I watched a lot of his fights on YouTube and boxing videos and stuff. I put Sugar Ray Leonard in there as well. But it just was before my time. So that's the only reason why they're not in there.
That's fair enough. You got yourself out. What was I gonna say? Nigel Ben. You said Nigel Ben. I'm not. What do you think about this? Him coming back 23 years later, age 55.
It's a tough one. If an athlete believes in themselves, then they should do what they believe they need to do. He's been out the ring for 25 years. That's a long time. Because your body gets conditioned to take in that impact. And when you haven't done that for 25 years, I'm not sure your body wants to know about that again. I'm sure he's fit enough, and we can test if he's fit enough. We can take him through fitness tests, VO2 max, we can do box jumps, sprints, timing over distance runs. So we can do the fitness test. It's not a question of whether he's fit enough. It's just whether his body is resilient enough to take the shots. When you spend, your late teens, early 20s, early 30s fighting, take 20 years off, is your body conditioned for that? I don't know. And to fight someone like Sakio Bika, who's been in with Calzaghe, been in with Darrell, he's a former world champion himself. He fought 2 years ago, and he was always in shape. I don't know. But, if Ben believes it,
you're going to say that.
Listen, each to their own. I'd rather it wasn't happening, but I'm definitely going to watch it.
I'm not going to watch it.
Definitely going to watch it.
Okay. And your opinion on Joshua Ruiz in Saudi?
Why not? Listen, they're going to get paid a lot of money. They're playing a very dangerous game into boxing. They need to get every penny they possibly can. yes, as fans, we love it locally, we love it in London, we love it in Cardiff. You know, the Mexican and American fans would love it in Mexico or Vegas or somewhere. But listen,
New York,
yeah, look, world champions should fight all over the world. It's a global title, so represent it globally. I have no issue with that. Just looking forward to it.
Who wins?
Joshua should.
Yeah.
I think if Joshua brings his A game, he wins. I think Andy Ruiz is a very good fighter though. Yeah. And I think AJ struggled with the speed inside, he struggled with the hand speed and the combinations. And I think if Andy Ruiz can slip inside his jab, AJ's got a problem. I think if AJ can keep it at range, he wins.
Okay. That's what I'm going to ask you, how does he win?
Yeah, keep it at range. Keep it at range. Keep it at range and then double up, jab, right, straight right.
Will he do that then?
He did it a little bit in the first fight, and then Ruiz got up and got inside it. You think when he knocked Ruiz down, the first couple of rounds looked comfortable for AJ. You know, jab was looking good. You know, put him down with a very good shot, and then Ruiz just started to walk through the jab, and well, we know what happened after that.
And going back to your sports science and sports performance coaching, what would you do to change things for Joshua in this rematch?
I think as a sports scientist, I think you try and make his stamina a little bit better.
Okay.
I think he needs to really focus on his boxing. I don't think it's so much a conditioning or foot speed thing. You can do all the ladder drills you like, but is it going to affect how you step in and out of range? Not drastically. I think you need to improve his overall speed. I think what AJ's got, if you look at his training stuff, is a lot of quickness. He looks very quick, he looks very good, but actually, watch Andy Ruiz's stuff. His quality of movement is better. He moves really, really well. AJ needs to get back to moving really well.
You say get back, but did he ever have that speed?
Yeah, I think when he first came through, he looked light on his feet. There was if you look at the first Dylan White fight, the only Dylan White fight, his foot speed looked good. He was in and out. It looked pretty good, man. The hand speed looked good. He was snappy. He was really snappy. He's put on a lot of bulk since then. You know, so obviously his coaches have their reasons for that. Maybe he's just the edge isn't there at the moment.
But do you think it was to do with him knowing that he was fighting Big Baby Miller? The first fight, he was a bit heavier in this
Potentially.
I
don't think in my opinion, I don't think AJ needed to put on weight to beat that guy. I think he just would have knocked him down. AJ's a serious guy.
Even with what he was in his system.
Yeah, he was beating Baby Miller all day. Different level.
Alright. It was a pleasure having this interview with you today.
Oh, thank you. Cheers for having me, man.
And we'll put all your information on the description so people can see where they can get you. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. I really appreciate you.
Thanks again.
Your time.
Thanks for that.